Welcome to get to know the speaker of Digital Confex. Today we have with us Sushant Bhushan, who is head of analytics delivery at Circle K. He will be speaking on the topic emerging technologies, exploring blockchain, Internet of Things, and quantum computing during the Information Technology Confex happening at Lee Meridian in New Delhi on 22nd September 2023. Hi Sushant, welcome to the chat show.
Hi Ayush, nice to see you and thank you for inviting me for this chat show.
It was our pleasure to have you on this chat show, Sushant. So, Sushant, please give us a brief introduction of yourself and your field of expertise for the audience.
Like I said, I'm Sushant. I'm heading the data analytics team over here in Circle K, which includes data science and analytics, and looking after the delivery of those solutions which requires machine learning and data science based solution. And in my experience, I possess more than 13 years of experience, and I'm one of those guys who has started their career in analytics only and decided to pursue in that. So you can imagine from my gray hairs that I'm getting old as well with the number of experience I'm getting in this field. So over a period of time, I have developed certain impactful and I would say value-driven solutions over my career as well, which has helped the organization quite immensely. So I was associated with different banks. So I spent majority of my career in banking sector only. So I spent more than a decade in banking industry, and then now I'm a part of Circle K, where I have set this entire team from the ground up and setting things in order to make this as a high performance team as well. And we have done some very interesting work in last 1 year since the time I joined here, and looking forward to create more impact with some powerful data science and machine learning based solutioning as well. So yeah, I mean it's a brief summary about me, and happy to go in more details. But given the time, I'm happy to go further in the show and talk about some of the things which you want me to talk about.
It was exciting knowing about your journey. So, Sushant, tell us your excitement for the event.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, and I think it's a great opportunity for the people who will be joining as well because this event is all focused on digital transformation and about the emerging technologies. So it's always good to be keeping in sync, and attending such conferences definitely helps a lot. So I'm really thankful to our digital Confex as well for inviting me as a speaker and to talk about the emerging technologies, which includes blockchain, IoT, and quantum computing, which for a lot of the people sounds like a buzzword. But if you ask me, to me, I'm really and personally very passionate about these things and how the impact generative AI is making. And when we combine these things, so I'll be sharing more in details in the session when I'll be there. So stay tuned and look forward to see the people over there when I'll be speaking in the forum.
So, moving forward, I have a few questions for you today. So, my first question is, can you please share a perspective on current state of AI adoption in various industries? And how do you see AI transforming these industries in next 5 to 10 years?
So if you ask me, AI is been something which is there for a while, and in India, specifically in the industry, I would say it has picked up pretty aggressively over the last 4 5 years only. And I would say, and I would give a credit to COVID as well for pacing up and acting as a catalyst for this digital transformation as well. So COVID has been one of the big driver which has really paced up the digital adoption. That's how the AI has become a thing which people and which every organization wants to have. So this industry is moving very fast, and I have seen it changing after every 3 4 years in my past experience that I have seen. But now, given the current landscape and how innovation is happening, it's not. I mean, it's a difficult question to answer that what how it will look like in 5 to 10 years. But I would say in next 2 to 3 years, a lot of the change would be there. So, for example, generative AI is taking a lot of work which we are doing, which is including the text, audio, or maybe the images or number. Everything is being created by generative AI. So there are some very powerful use cases which we are seeing, which are emerging out of it. And like I said, with the combination of certain emerging technologies which we talked about, the blockchain and generative AI and quantum computing, I can't even imagine how much powerful thing we can do and how much impact we can create with these technologies. So um, I would say in next 2 to 3 years, the word is definitely being all the organization will be using heavily AI, and if somebody is not using, which to me is a surprise at the moment because everybody wants to do that and use that, and in next 2 to 3 years, I think everybody will start adopting, be it customer behavior, be it marketing, sales, everywhere the AI has different use cases, and it is driving a lot of value in whatever we are doing.
So, what challenges do you think organizations face when integrating AI into their existing processes?
So it's an interesting question, and I think, like I said, with this evolution of AI, everybody wants to have a pie of it. But again, it's not just saying that, hey, I want to do AI, I want to do something on data analytics is not something which is going to help. Organization needs to understand that they have to embed this AI into their decision making, and that's how the real value will be unlocked. If this AI or any division who is doing these sort of analysis is set as a standalone entity, then that will not drive a value. So I can tell from my experience that if somebody is, for example, if an organization says that, hey, I want to do AI, and the first thing they do is to hire a resource, right? They say that, hey, I need a data scientist who will be doing this work for me. To me, that's a wrong approach because what I have seen in many cases is that you spend a lot of money in hiring those people. For example, if you want to do something and I want 8 data scientists, I hire 8 data scientists. But after some months and few months, if not more, at least 6 or 7 of them already leaves. So that's not a right use of utilization of a time and resources. So to me, what an organization needs to do is to identify the use case, what they want to do, what they want to solve for. How is not what I'm expecting them to think about, because that is the role of data scientist, and the person who will be handling those things will be doing it. So it's a big cultural change. It's a big thought process change that organization needs to understand, that what they exactly want to do and whether they have data or not. So that's again an important pedigree to be successful in AI journey. So if you have data, if you know you have a good quality of a data, then the benefit and the opportunity that lies ahead in front of those organizations is tremendous. And I see a lot of value when these two things come together, business and data, and in conjunction with the AI, which we can do. So that's where the real unlocking of value happens.
I think you gave a good example, brief example basically of how the challenges are. So now my next question is, as AI continues to evolve, ethical consideration become increasingly important. So how can organization leveraging AI ensure that their work aligns with ethical standards?
No, again, I mean, it's again a very good question to ask. So, given the adoption of AI is increasing and how organization is moving, so it's very important that whatever we do, we have to do in our ethical limit, and it's very important. So there has to be proper governance. There has to be certain policies which help us to comply in those um, privacy law and all sort of those things. So we know there has been a GDPR which has already been there in European countries already, but now with the India, the data privacy bill is definitely going to bring a lot of change. And I will still have to go through with all the details what that bill contains and what else we have. But still, I would say a lot of private information and the personal information that these AI models use is something which will be limited now, and we'll not be using that much information that we were using before. So that will definitely change a lot of landscape. And again, if somebody is not comfortable sharing his or her personal information, then we should not use it. We should not make it as a part of our decision making or anything which we are doing on top of AI. So I would say it is going to play a big role, and how we keep a good tab on it, because it's not just that it's a bill, right? So it creates a lot of reputation damage as well. If somebody is doing something wrong and if it comes in a bad news, so it's not a just the loss from the financial perspective, it's also reputation and a brand loss, which is a bigger loss in my opinion compared to the financial losses. So in order to mitigate that, there are certain frameworks which are already in place. And if you have known, so MLOps is one very popular word these days, where people are operationalizing their models. And because building model is one part and maintaining model is another part, so it's very important to make sure that whatever we have built is complying to the law, is complying to what we are expecting that particular algorithm or solution to work in a way. So in that actually helps in terms of tracking if there is anything wrong happening or not. And there are certain other ways that can be done. I would say, in order to ensure that we are ethically compliant and we are doing the right thing. But this is a culture, this is a change which has to be driven from oneself. So I don't know if no matter how many trainings you do, how many awareness session you do, but it has to come from within. That if we are ethical, if we want to do the right thing, then I don't think we will be doing the wrong thing when we'll be doing it. So definitely trainings and those resources helps, but it has to come from within, in my opinion.
As you talked about AI technology like ChatGPT have raised discussion. So tell us what is the potential for AI generated content like ChatGPT, positive and negative. Basically, what are the concerning ways and how do you envision the future of human AI collaboration in content creation and communication?
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT is a big buzzword, and I don't think there is anybody who is not using it. So it has certain big advantages, and because I'm also a fan of ChatGPT, I also use ChatGPT for a lot of the things. So, for example, if you want a question from certain data set, and if you want to answer it, so I use ChatGPT. I build a solution. Hey, give me this and that, and ChatGPT can easily give me those insights, can get pull data for me, and do all sort of those simple analysis for me. It's very easy to do that, but how reliable that is, that's still a question which is still evolving. But still, at those basic answer to my question is definitely given by ChatGPT, and there are other repetitive tasks which ChatGPT can very easily do it for me, which I don't want to do, to be very honest. Then, in terms of the negative part, so again, there are certain other use cases like developing a content. So if you imagine if we are in a area where there are 100 different content creator and everybody starts using ChatGPT. So I would say even though people use different prompts and there's a different way to tweak your answer, but if you ask me, at least 15 to 20 people will use the same prompt and they'll start talking about in the same tone. So that way there will be the originality as well as the human touch that we look out for. That will be missing in those contents. So that is something which is a very frightening thing to me, that the creativity and all sort of those things will somehow decrease if people will not pay attention to those details. And again, I can pick up one example from a very recent study I was reading. So Amazon and Flipkart, a lot of the people are putting their their images as a product, right? So their sales are going up. There is no doubt. But there was one study which says that the number of return orders are also increasing quite drastically. Why? Because the image which is showing on the website is not the real image. It is being something which is created by AI. So what exactly is happening is because of it, the return orders has started increasing. So for example, if three orders were being written out of 10 previously, but now the number of orders repeat, the return order is now increased from three to five or three to six. It's a huge increase in those return orders. So what will happen as a seller? They have to pay penalties. There are certain charges for those return orders. Now they know, they figure it out that hey, we were getting three, now we're getting six. So they have adjusted that penalties in their MRP, in the cost price which they are selling on Amazon. So ultimately, who is the sufferer? It's the consumer, it's the user, right? So that ultimate, that person is, or that individual is suffering from all sort of those things. So AI is to help us, not to trouble us, or not to make our life more difficult. But again, coming back to the same point regarding the human AI collaboration. So I would say if we use it for guiding and just as a direction, then it's good. But it should not be the end solution that we should always look forward to. So human touch, I always believe there is no replacement of human brain. Human brain is consists of thousands of neurons, and ChatGPT is just few hundreds of neurons that works into it. So there is nothing which can replace that human brain. So that artistic creativity and those sort of content creation, I would always think that it should come with a collaboration with the human and AI. So AI is to enable us, not to overpower or is to guide us. So that's what I can say on it.
Thanks, Sushant. It was great connecting with you, and I think it was very informative session, like how you talked about laws and ethical concerns in organization and chat GPT, and you have given brilliant example regarding Amazon and Flipkart that you have given. And I think, and I also am thrilled with your excitement to join our conference. So any words for our participants who will be joining this conference?
No, I think, like I said before, it's a great platform. It's a great opportunity to be a part of these conferences, because that way you get to know how industry is moving. And even I am looking forward to learn a lot from there, because I will be meeting with some brilliant mind of this industry. where I know how they are making the decision making and how they are driving it. So definitely people can learn a lot, and I look forward to see you there when I'll be there in that conference.
Great, good to know. Thanks for your time today, Sushant. And to all the participants, don't miss this session happening on Information Technology Confex on 22nd September 2023, presented by Digital Confex at Le Meridian in New Delhi. Get a great chance to connect with him in person. See you soon, Sushant.
Thank you, Ayush.